Welcome back to this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host Malik, and forgive me for not posting yesterday. I'm dealing with an ear infection in my left ear. That's about as good as I can give you an excuse. I could not fathom the pain yesterday. It still hurts like crazy, but I'm here now. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified when this video comes out, and make sure to leave a follow and a 5-star review if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Really helps the channel grow further. So I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Now, not a whole lot going on. I actually kind of saved it for tomorrow. But basically, we can still talk about going ahead into the upcoming season. And one of those things being the chances that the Grizzlies can exceed year one goals. And the chances are very likely, honestly. I really don't see outside of health really anything getting in the way of this team. Like truly, I really don't think so. I think you have a fairly good roster on paper that can come a force in say 2 to 3 years from now. Probably the third year mark, I think, is where we'll see the team really have it figured out. Kind of like how it was when the team did bring in John Moran from the draft. 2019 phasing out period, 2020. Hey, you make the play in, and then 2021 you do make the play in, but you finally get over the hump, and then obviously 2022. That's when we kind of started the whole next gen era success aspect. So I can kind of see a similar rebuild timeline of that, and that's why I think year one, with people saying the team isn't gonna be this good, obviously not, but just the idea that this team is going to be a bottom five team or something, it's just it's kind of interesting to see, because if you fare it against a lot of the younger cores in the league or even just the Western Conference, the Grizzlies really aren't in a bad spot. They really aren't in a bad spot. Their schedule isn't too tough, so it's not really the worst thing in the world. This is obviously just projections for now. Obviously, we still have to wait on things to come back. Obviously, got to monitor the health of Zach Edey. Once he's back on the court and things like that. Obviously, the play of certain players on the court. But honestly, I think the system with the lineup that you have could work for sure. That's why those first 25 games, we'll say, are going to be very essential to see where the direction of this team is going to be in the season. Usually 25 games kind of gives you an idea, unless you have a very, very quick turnaround. Other than that, I don't see a world where the Grizzlies kind of don't find their identity early. You have multiple things to look forward to. I mean, I actually just looked at a clip of Cam Boozer and Open Run with guys like, I think, Kay Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey, and others. And hey, Cam Boozer was holding his own against Kay Cunningham. Actually locked him up pretty good. So definitely seeing the case around this team being exceeding expectations, and hopefully we get that from everyone, especially the coach, because Islo is a main factor in. Excuse me. Islo is a main factor in all of this, so definitely something that we can look forward to for sure. Now going forward, the point guard battle is one that's it's not important, but it's definitely something to watch for. And I think a lot of people had their eyes on what goes on. I don't know what just happened, but I lost sight of where my recording is. But we're going to do it anyway. Basically, what I'm trying to say is pretty much we're kind of living in a timeline where, the future of Ty Jerome is in question. You kind of want to figure out who's going to be, the next to follow up certain guys when it comes down to it. So definitely something that we look forward to when it comes to certain things. Why am I not okay? I am struggling on my end. I cannot see my recording, and I can't pause it. So we're just gonna have to do it like this. But yeah, basically, I do like the aspect that we kind of do get an idea of what the point guard situation will look like for the Grizzlies. Obviously, you got Ty Jerome, who's more than likely going to be the starting point guard on this team. I think that goes without question for sure. Then you got Scottie Pippen Jr., who arguably looks like the best all-around guard on the team. Not to mention the development of Javon Small, and hopefully, maybe Walter Clayton Jr. I say maybe because while I do have my thoughts about certain things, I definitely think he still has a good shot basically kind of making itself known for sure. Okay, there we go. Got it figured out. Don't know what just happened, but basically, yeah, I do like the idea of kind of having it easy, kind of going with where it comes to development and even what am I trying to say, and even the idea that Javon Small, Walter Clayton Jr. You have them. Then you got Ty Jerome, who's going to bring you a nice bit of scoring. It just disappeared again. What is going on? All right, but yeah, basically you kind of have those aspects of things. Ty Jerome is going to be really essential to the team. Obviously, the 20 points in however many minutes he played last year, and then obviously the assist numbers, the playmaking, things like that. It's definitely going to be helpful for this team going forward. So you got a lot to look forward to for sure. Definitely looking forward to how Ty Jerome fits on this team as well as Scott. Well, we already know how Scottie Pippen Jr. looks on this team, but you just kind of have an understanding of it, and I think that's something that I think a lot of us are really going to look forward to. I mean, it's definitely going to be a reminder for some people, but it's definitely something to look forward to for sure. I'm just gonna have to do this until I change the graphic or I'm able to change the graphic. So next topic is obviously the schedule, and looking at it right now. The schedule. I think it defines the Grizzlies and what we could expect from them. And what I mean by that is basically you kind of get an idea. We're kind of gonna have an idea of what the team identity is. Kind of similar to what I was saying at first, just the timeline of the rebuild. Also get the identity of the team as far as how things are gonna go forward for the Grizzlies. Is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts right now. I am really having technical difficulties, and I cannot fix the problem. I cannot fix the problem. Um, so I'm trying to figure out how to fix the problem, but I'm not being able to fix the problem. But yeah, basically the schedule that the Grizzlies have is definitely going to be very useful for them because it kind of gives you an idea of how exactly the energy is going to be. Obviously, we got a great idea when it comes to guys like Isaiah Stewart. When he says, hey, he's happy to be here, and we already know the kind of energy that Isaiah Stewart brings, especially as a veteran. Those are the veterans that I think I probably enjoy the most out of anybody is the fact that we have veterans that want to play here or want to kind of make a name for themselves in a different market because a lot of people, let's be honest, they look at the Grizzlies as kind of a stepping stone. They don't really what's the word I'm looking for, they don't really respect us. Let's just say it what it is. It's always been the case for the Grizzlies. It's a sad reality, but it's kind of always been the case. So I'm glad to see that we're kind of living in a time where we have guys on the team that are willing to basically kind of bring a new energy to the club. And really, it is kind of really just what am I trying to say? It really is an aspect that I kind of want the Grizzlies to adapt. I definitely think that's something that going forward it would be really good for the team. Something just happened, and now we are stuck. We're stuck. All right, we are stuck. So pretty much, until I figure this out, I don't know. But yeah, basically, we're kind of living in a time where we do need a new identity. Obviously, I actually just saw a video earlier today where someone was like the Blazers won the trade outright, which to me just is not true. All right, we're back. We're back. We finally got the technical difficulties figured out. Cool. But yeah, basically, kind of want to give kind of saw a video that like really just kind of shaded the not really shaded the Grizzlies, but definitely kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way because it's like to look at that trade and essentially say that the Blazers outright won it, it's kind of ridiculous to me because if any other team was to get those kind of assets back for a guy that wasn't really playing that much, we'll say, you know what? Hey, we'll say, for instance, Trae Young. We'll just say Trae Young, a guy that doesn't really play that much, hasn't played that much lately. Definitely, still the talent is there, but overall, it's just not bringing too much to the team. To get that kind of haul back for that, especially with the contract that John Morant had, I definitely think it's something that, I think a lot of people really will kind of get an understanding of as time go by. But overall, I like the idea that, this team is playing a schedule that is going to be very challenging for them and also kind of matches the energy that they're going into the season with because we've seen guys say, they want to go day in and day out, figure things out, and ultimately bring the best energy on the court, which is something I think is going to be very, very vital to this team. And I think going forward, we could see, that kind of translate throughout the entire roster, the fan base, maybe hopefully even the city, because I really do have a lot of hope for this era. And I really hope it's not a flop because if it is, then we really have to reevaluate things going forward when it comes to not just the players, but also just who is in charge, just being honest. I don't know what just happened with my graphic, but all right, let's try that again. Anyways, before we get out of here, do just want to read some of the comments in the last video. I know they kind of, all over the place because I missed today, but basically, first comment right here says, I'm just ready to see if this is a team play and it's still so far away. Yeah, definitely kind of want to see that as well. Like I said, we all anticipating the day. I think we got like 50 days until preseason. Definitely anticipating the day until we see these guys on the court because summer league was cool, but adding in the veterans, adding in the full coaching, the game plan, all those things, it's definitely going to be very useful to watch. Ugh. Excuse me. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Next time right here says would love the experience from the defense and shot making the Lou Dort. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Being real with you though, I don't really think there's a whole lot when it comes to the shot making aspect. I mean, he's a cool 3-and-D guy, so you definitely can't deny that. But the perimeter defense definitely fits the identity of this team. Adding Isaiah Stewart and Lou Dort, man, that's probably up there with like a Tony Allen and Darrell Arthur kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So definitely would love to see something like that on the court if it was possible, but I'm not too, basically, too amped up to be like, oh, we need Lou Dort compared to how it kind of is with certain players. I just don't look at Lou Dort that way. And there's nothing wrong with Lou Dort. Let me get that out of the way. I mean, granted, yes, he is, a bit reckless with the way he plays, but I mean, overall, the guy's an NBA champion, so you can't deny that, and you just kind of got to work with it. Next comment right here says, great work. Thanks for putting everything in perspective and analyzing things and not just put your opinion in every video. Hey, I appreciate it. But I'm going to be honest, all that was a Michael Cole. That was a Michael Cole breaking all that down. I just kind of, put my own little twist to it. But shout out to him. He does a very good job at what he does. So shout out to, so make sure to show love to him and make sure to say that, hey, Grizzlies Daily, you said something because he knows about us. I know about him. So definitely shout out to him for putting that article out. It really helped put things into perspective. Next comment right here says, how much longer do you think the rebuild will take? I mean, it's a matter of where you, what goal you have in mind for the team. If you're talking about a championship or like at least competing for one, give it honestly anywhere from 5 years. I'd say 5 years before we're really contenders if we do the right things to build the roster up and keep it going from there. And then if you're just talking about like before we make the playoffs, honestly, I'd say about 2-3 years. At most 3 years. I really don't think it should take that long. Like I said, the Western Conference is only getting worse. In fact, Peyton Watson finally got traded from the Nuggets to the Cavaliers. And I don't even think they got much in return for real. So, like I said, the Western Conference is getting worse. Obviously, you got your superstars in there, but overall, the build around those superstars, it's not looking too good. And that's why I say the Grizzlies, they're kind of doing things the right way, and I really think they have an opportunity to compete for real. And then the last comment right here says, we've been unhealthy for so long. Health of the team is the first critical need to see who actually fits together. I won't confirm or deny my thoughts on Islo, but I will confirm no matter your opinion on him, he will have to fail with a healthy team before the Grizzlies make a coaching change. And honestly, I kind of had to come to that realization myself that Islo technically outside of maybe the first 11 games of last year, he really hasn't had a fair shot with a healthy roster, just being honest. So definitely think that, and I think that was also another catalyst for why Ja might have been moved the way that he did. It's just the fact of certainty when it comes to health, especially when you're trying to build around somebody. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, definitely health is going to play a big factor. I know the Grizzlies have taking some steps to kind of improve that aspect of it, bringing in some guys to help the training staff. So definitely looking forward to seeing how that plays out in the season. And obviously, how Ezelo's game plan offensively and defensively looks when at full health, because I think remotely healthy, you definitely get a good play-in team for sure. And then over the course of time, you definitely get a team that can make the playoffs and ultimately compete for, something higher up. But definitely agree with that comment. Really agree with most of the comments. So I appreciate y'all for always leaving them. Make sure to leave them in this video, because that's a wrap on this edition. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when the next video comes out. And make sure, if you listen to us on other platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review and a follow. It really helps the channel grow further as we go into the next season. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Peace.